Greetings, folks. Joseph Kursky here with you to talk about creating a story map tour from geotagged photos. Very powerful for skill building in students, thinking about how do I get my photos from my field work when I was collecting trees or historical homes or water quality or something else inside a GIS. ArcGIS Online, story maps, etc. So in one of my courses, actually several of my courses, I've got a activity where the students actually create a story map, and I have a set of photos I took on one of my work trips to Australia. Good on you, mates! For 5 amazing trees that will also illustrate the auto location capabilities stored inside that EXIF file in your photos. So if you've got photos that have the geotagged information in there, great. If not, go to geoimager.com and manually upload the location into your photograph. So I've got a set of photos sitting online, and that is in the URL right here that I direct the students to. Then I have them go ahead and download the zip file. Once they download that zip file, good file management skills building here. It's important in a GIS to know what your file names are, where they're located, etc. So be organized about your work and know where those images or those GIS files or layers or whatever you have. Got lots of different files in a GIS. Know where they are, know who created them, the data quality, etc. So all those discussions are part of my course as well. So if I look at the properties for these photographs, notice there's a GPS latitude, longitude. In this case, it's south latitude and east longitude for Australia. Interesting. So you've got the geotags on your photographs. That's great. So now that I've got the files downloaded, it's a zip file of 5 photographs. And keep these labs light. Don't have 100 photographs in that zip file. 5 is just fine for teaching these skills. Now I look at again, check the geotags, make sure they're there once you've unzipped that file from the web. And then you're going to go into the Story Maps tool, and inside Story Maps, look at a map tour. And inside the map tour, we've added all of the photos in that formerly zipped file. So inside the Story Maps zone, we're going to go to Map Tour, and we're going to upload all of those photos, as you can see here. You can't rearrange them while you're uploading. After you've uploaded, and I'm going to create a Explorer list. Notice that I can now drag these things around. I can use the Banksia trees for my cover image, which I'll do in a little while, and the eucalyptus and the rough fern, etc. So I can now rename these untitled tour points. There are certain workflows where it takes the name of the photo, which is very, very nice, and puts that as the title of the map tour. There are certain workflows that do that. At the moment, in this particular lab, the students actually have to add it in, which is not a bad thing because it gets them thinking about the distribution of trees in Australia and the extremely wonderfully diverse trees that they are. The Banksia tree, for example, looks like a fuzzy microphone in a recording studio. It's just absolutely fascinating. So they rename the trees and the photograph tour stops, as you can see here. Very nice. Test that, make sure it works. Put some alternative text in there. Make sure your story maps are as accessible as they can be. Let's go ahead and change the cover image, as I indicated before. Let's go ahead and add one of the same photographs. I love that Banksia tree. I just can't resist. I've got to use that one. Look at that. That is just spectacular. It doesn't even look real. So I've got a cover image, and notice on each photo you can highlight or focus the map reader's attention on certain parts of the photograph, so that's very nice too. And we're going to change the base map here to something like imagery, so they can think about precipitation patterns, biomes, ecoregions, and how that impacts the tree species. So let's do that. Now I've got that saved, and my tour now is using the image base map in ArcGIS Online. Testing all those photographs and their locations. That all looks good. Excellent. So we have used the geotags on the photographs to automatically locate their positions, the geotagging. So I have a discussion in that particular week of the lab in that course where we reflect on that, and then we talk about location privacy. We talk about the spatial accuracy of those points. If you're laying fiber optic cable or something like that needs higher positional accuracy, we talk about bad ELF and TopCon and Trimble units to supplement the location information. Here I'm adjusting the story settings. I love the UK format for the date, so I'm going to use that as well as the latest time this was updated. And I'm going to share this with everyone so that you can actually find this and use it in ArcGIS Online if you'd like to as well, with the title that I'm using right now, Trees of Australia, my initials from Geotagged Photos. I'm going to publish that so anybody can look at it, including the students, to make sure they're on track. Their map does not have to look the same exact thing as mine. The idea is the workflow, thinking critically about the data and thinking about what geotagging means and how powerful it actually is. So that is the workflow for that particular part of my, in this case, an environmental GIS course. I use this same technique in some other courses as well. I'm teaching geography this fall. I'm going to use it there as well to have students, again, thinking about the relationships between tree species, biomes, precipitation patterns, latitude, proximity to oceans, etc. So those all look actually quite good. And that is a zip file that I actually have up on my own website. You can put it anywhere you want. Another workflow that actually works is Google Photos. So you can use a photo sharing service to have the students go and access as long as they can get to it without having to sign in, make sure they're public. And so here they're getting the geotagged photos from, in this case, my folder inside Google Photos. At the moment, July 2025, my tried and true workflow of Flickr is not working because Flickr it seems like it's taking off the geotags when I download them. So right now, I'm not using the Flickr method, but I may come back to that. These are rapidly changing workflows, and so hopefully in the future it'll work again. But the geotagging here is from the Google Photos folder, and they can make that story map tour based on trees. Of course, it could be anything. It could be litter, it could be historical homes, it could be community gardens, skateboard parks, anything that is interesting and fascinating to map and then study the distribution and patterns once you've mapped things. Thanks for being with me. Good to be with you here on automatically making a map tour story map from Geotagged Photos.